I wasn't invited to be in my twin brother's wedding party and didn't get A+1 for my girlfriend, while my sister got A+1 for her casual partner, so I skipped the wedding and now my family says I ruined the day. Posted by you/Juggernaut, Slow4213. I, 28M, have a twin brother. Growing up, we were inseparable, and until recently, I thought we were still very close. I was always more of a shy nerd, and he was an outgoing person who played sports throughout our childhood and high school, but we spent almost all our time together by choice. We went our separate ways when college came. He stayed local in Arizona, and I went to college in Portland. When I graduated, I stayed there because I fell in love with the city. My friends are here, my professional networks from internships were here, and so on. But I always flew back home for holidays, events, birthdays, and other family times. My brother announced on Instagram that he and his girlfriend of 3 years got engaged. I was very happy for him and texted him congratulations. He mentioned they were planning to have an engagement party in 6 to 8 weeks, and I told him to let me know so I could book a flight and come celebrate. I was never told a date. When I asked him or anyone in my family about it, they would change the subject or say it was still being planned and confirmed. After a few weeks, I texted my brother to ask about the date because it must be getting close, and I did not want to pay for a last-minute flight. I got no response. I asked my mom for details, and she said, "It is not really an engagement party, just a small dinner with family. There is no need to come down for it." I eventually found out that it was actually a big party. They rented out an entire restaurant for 4 hours, and there were about 80 guests, family, friends, cousins, everyone. Everyone was told I could not make it. My aunt, who was like a second mother to me, texted me that she was very disappointed I could not make time to join. I replied that I would have happily come, but I was not invited. Word spread quickly about being left out, and my parents and brother tried to say it was just a misunderstanding. That was almost over a year ago. Since then, I have tried to find out why I was not invited. Over the months, the story changed from it was just meant to be a small gathering, to I do not know what happened, there must have been a miscommunication, to it is just a party. It is no big deal. I asked my brother if he was mad at me. I thought maybe his fiancée did not like me. Even if she or he did not want me there, why were my parents okay with this? This really was not like them. Christmas and Easter were very awkward because no one but me wanted to talk about the problem, and any conversation about anything felt like small talk with strangers. When I visited in May for my sister's birthday, I left early after my sister said, "You moved so far away. It is like you are not really family anymore. You make everything feel so weird now." 9 months ago I got the save the date announcement, and 6 months ago I got the invitation to the wedding. I was not asked to be in the wedding party, which was fine and not surprising at that point. My sister and younger brother were asked to be in the wedding party, so it felt like another snub. I also did not get A+1 for my girlfriend, who I had been seeing for almost a year and a half. My sister, however, got A+1 for her friend with benefits. So I decided I was not welcome, and I was probably only invited for show and to play happy family. I did not RSVP no since I knew that would cause a big fight. I just did not go. The wedding was this past weekend. No one contacted me about missing the rehearsal dinner, so I guess even if I had gone, I was not invited to that either or expected to be there. I started getting calls and texts about an hour before the ceremony asking where I was, if my flight was delayed, how far along I was, and so on. I ignored them. They stopped during the ceremony but started again right after. I finally picked up my mom's call, and she screamed, "Where on earth are you?" I replied, "In Portland, where you all prefer me to be." She said, "This is your brother's wedding. How could you embarrass us?" I answered, "It is just a party. It is no big deal, right?" It was probably the first time in my life my mother was speechless. After a few seconds of silence, I said, "Tell everyone I said hi," and I hung up. Now I am getting calls and texts from everyone saying I was being petty and ruined the day. So am I the bad guy here? I feel like I am just matching their energy and dropping the rope. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, not the bad guy. It may seem petty to some, but they did not have enough decency to be honest with you about the engagement party and made you feel unwelcome in your own family. I would say not to close the door completely, as they may come back and apologize someday, but for now, you are within your rights to cut contact. OP, honestly, I was going to suggest family therapy, but I am not sure that will even work or if I want anything from that. Thinking about the last few years, it feels like any contact was always started by me. Op on flying to Phoenix for family events. OP, the flights are not very long, about 2.5 hours, and between holidays, birthdays, and other celebrations, I am back in Phoenix almost every month. It is not like I moved to another country, and they have not seen me in years. Commenter 2, dude, first of all, you are not the bad guy. You are the only person in this whole family story who has not completely lost it. Let's break this down. They threw an 80-person party and pretended it was a small dinner like you are some random neighbor who does not need the details. When you tried to clarify, they gaslighted you so much you probably started wondering if you imagine the whole invitation process. Your own mom lied to your face many times instead of just saying, "Hey, for some reason, you are not on the list." You were only invited to the wedding so you could sit there like a prop while everyone clinked glasses and said, "Look at our perfect family." And let's not forget your sister, who literally said, "It is like you are not really family anymore." He is in Portland, not on the International Space Station. Honestly, you matched their energy perfectly. They acted like you did not exist, so you did not show up. You did not scream, you did not burn bridges, you just quietly said, "Cool. I will stay where you clearly prefer me." That is not petty. That is clarity. What is petty is them suddenly losing their minds because their photo was missing the twin. It is like saying, "We did not want you here, but how dare you not be here?" If you had gone, they would have acted like everything was normal while you swallowed a rage salad all weekend. Instead, you finally did something that honored your own dignity, which was long overdue. Here is the truth, you did not ruin anything. They did. Repeatedly. You just stopped playing their game. And I promise you this, someone in that family respects you more now for drawing a line. They will never admit it, but they do. So no, you are not the bad guy. You are the one sane person in a family that treats basic decency like an optional thing. Drop the rope. Rest your arms. And maybe send your mom a postcard that says, "Greetings from Portland, still not invited, still not bothered. OP, thank you. You have totally hit the nail on the head." If anyone had just said, "Hey, it feels like we have lost touch, so just a heads up you may not be as involved as others," that would have been fine. You were only invited to the wedding so you could sit there like a prop while everyone clinked glasses and said, "Look at our perfect family." One of my cousins, who is on my side, told me that I was not even placed at the family table because there was no room to fit me in there. So even if I had gone, I would have been some random guest. Did Op and his twin talk on a regular basis? OP, I always thought we stayed close. He would visit me about once a year for a week since I graduated. We may not have chatted or texted every day, but we kept each other informed about what was going on in our lives. We may not text for 2 to 3 weeks, but when we did, there would be an hour of texting back and forth and inside jokes. I traveled back home about 10 times a year, so I met his now wife, and I thought we got along well too. Op on if politics play a role in his family. OP, no change in politics as far as I can tell. No MAGA stuff or anything like that. My dad is a lifelong Republican, my mom a Democrat, and my siblings and I are still pretty liberal. No real change there and no shifts noticed from any social media posts. Has Op's family visited him in Portland? OP, my brother has visited about 5 times. My sister lived with me one summer for an internship here. My cousin, who is totally on my side, lived with me and 2 of my friends for 2 years after she transferred to the college I went to and finished her degree here. My parents visited twice during college, and my little brother has no interest. Is Op and his twin identical? OP, fraternal. Commenter 3, not the bad guy. They deserved every bit of it. I bet your brother probably did not finish college or has not gotten a good career. Kudos to you for standing up for yourself. OP, he did. He went to a party school, but C's get degrees. From what I know, he likes his job and makes a decent wage. I make a surprisingly good wage, which allowed me to visit home regularly. Or allowed me to visit home often, but I doubt I will be traveling there anytime soon. Commenter 4, not the bad guy, but why could not your brother just tell you what was going on? If you had said or done something that hurt him, why did he not at least let you know? And why is your whole family backing him up? Do you have different political views than they do? Did you ever bully your brother? Do you owe him money? Are they really that upset that you moved out of state that they are willing to destroy any relationship with you? It is also strange. OP, I do not know. I definitely did not bully him. He would have whooped my behind. No change in politics from what I can see. Literally everyone in my family, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, live a 30-minute drive from each other. I am the only one who moved away, but I visit almost monthly to stay connected. I probably make the most of all my siblings, so I have gifted money in the past, mostly because I know it is a waste to loan to family. I feel like I give 110% to get 70% back. Does Op's family have any issues against his girlfriend? OP, honestly, my family loves her, or at least they say they do. She came with me for Christmas, and my mother pulled me aside and said I finally found someone who can put up with me and she can stop worrying about my future now. My girlfriend was okay with there being no +1 and said it is getting more common to only give +1s to engaged or married couples since the bride and groom do not want some stranger they never see again in their photos if the relationship does not work out. But then she found out my sister got a +1 for her friend with benefits. Update, 6 days later. Thank you to everyone who replied to my last post. I can't believe how many answers it got, and I tried to keep up, but I couldn't. I also thought it would be about half people saying not the asshole and half saying you are the asshole, because I know what I did was a little petty. For those who didn't read my last post, the main thing is that I was not invited to my twins' engagement party and was not included in the wedding party. After being left out for the past year, I chose not to go. To the people who said I was the asshole, I understand your reasons. Yes, it was cowardly not to RSVP and avoid drama, but looking back I was in a place where I would have just given in to the guilt if I said I would not come. Also, part of me hoped they would notice I did not RSVP and tell me they wanted me to come. But every day between the RSVP date and the wedding I got more angry and hurt. I wanted to make it clear in a big way that if they don't want me around, then Then I don't have to be around. And I get that was a bad move. I had a long phone call with my aunt and cousin last night about the wedding drama. They gave me more information. Our guesses were partly based on what we know and have heard, but here it goes. We really think my mother felt I rejected them when I did not move back after graduating. This is even though I always come home for my brother and sister's graduations, all birthdays, holidays, special events, and more. I visit almost every month. But even with this, we think she has some strange grudge against me for breaking up her family and showing my siblings they don't have to stay local. Even worse, somehow visiting so often made my mother upset because my aunt said my mother told her a few years ago that I was showing off my money by visiting so much. Thanks to my senior year internship, I went straight into a job where moving up can be quick. And thanks to going back for a special master's degree, I am in a very small part of that field and moved up faster. I am not bragging, it was just luck, good contacts, and a great teacher early on. People said my brother might be jealous. He does earn less, but I think he loves his job. It just does not have the same chances to move up. Honestly, his job is much more exciting than mine and I think it makes him much happier. My job is not bad, it is just not one people want to hear about at dinner parties, laugh out loud. I was also showing off my money by giving family money when they needed it. My grandfather often said, never loan family money. Give it freely if you want, but you will hurt relationships if you ask for it back. Not a week of Judge Judy reruns goes by without proving that right. So when I could, I gave my family money when they needed it. Money for car repairs, money to help with my parents' mortgage when my dad was out of work during COVID, money when my brother ran out halfway through his kitchen work. And until last night, I paid for my parents' internet and Disney Plus bills, but I have now stopped the monthly payments. Again, this was me showing off my success. But they never stopped asking. My aunt and cousin also said they heard many quiet angry comments about me over the years. First from my mother in the years after I decided to stay in Portland, and then from my siblings. We think my mother slowly turned them against me for not moving back home and showing what happens if they tried to move away. Someone said this about my mother meeting my girlfriend in my last post. To be honest, given everything else that happened, what your mother said about finally finding someone who can put up with you sounds less like a joke and more like a not so hidden insult. I see that now. I laughed it off as just my mom's humor, but I now see these quiet angry comments to me and to my siblings over the years were subtle ways to turn them against me and make me accept it. Many people said this was to get me to move back home and punish me for leaving, but I will not come home to accept treatment like this and hope it stops now that they got what they wanted. Especially when it is too deeply set in them now. It also explains why for the past few years almost every talk starts with me. They just do not like me anymore and only want me when they need or want something. My cousin also found out from another cousin that my brother made a mistake when he talked about the engagement party. I was not supposed to know at all. The plan was to tell everyone I could not make it and hope I never found out. My brother told that cousin I was not supposed to find out, but after he told him, I would not stop asking to come. Based on how they have talked about me for years, lots of family think I am an annoying loser who makes my visits hard for them and can't take the hint to leave. So I am finally leaving. My aunt and mother never really got along, and my aunt said she knew all this had my mom's name on it. She said years of insults, quiet angry comments, and full-on angry comments have led to this. She said they are not the same people now. I told them I don't think things can go back to how they were. My aunt and cousin said they never heard my dad say anything bad, so my aunt will have my uncle talk to my dad alone to try to find out what is going on. I thanked my aunt and cousin and told them they are the only family I have left and I do not plan on losing them. My aunt said they have not gone camping in years and asked if there are any nice places near Portland. It is too far to drive to go camping, but it means they may visit sometime. They also said they will try to fix what family thinks about me, but I told them not to bother because they already decided what to believe. But for now my close family is cut off. I have blocked them on my phone and social media. No more free help when they need money. No more wasting money to fly to Phoenix, Arizona more than 10 times a year just to be burned by the sun and family members. No more being the punching bag. Thank you all for your support and for helping me see my family really is bad. Top comments. Commenter 1, good for you. Setting boundaries with people who treat you badly, even family, is not petty, it is self-respect. OP, thank you. It is a huge weight off my shoulders. Commenter 2, I do not understand your mom's plan here. Sure, she wanted to punish you for moving away, but if she wanted you to come back, how did she think treating you badly and turning your family against you would help? My son does not want to move home? I will show him. I will make him so unhappy he has to come back. That will teach him. Like, what? If you miss your child, would you not do everything to make them feel welcome every time you see them? Commenter 3, good for you. You do not need people in your life who take you for granted and treat you like a walking ATM. Your mom is definitely the bad one for turning your family against you just because you did not follow their rules and became more successful than them. Commenter 4, I thought the reason would be what I expected since your story was like mine in many ways. I will tell you this much, things will get much better when you get used to it. No more worry about people you thought would be happy for you but are really your enemies. The best thing you can do is live your life and be happy.